Good morning. It is time for some Vermillion Tanagers softball from the state softball tournament at the Players Softball Complex. That is a lot of softball. Yes, it is. They're going to be taking on the 5th-seeded Sioux Valley Cossacks. This is just the second year Sioux Valley has had a softball team. I was talking to Coach Gus Miller. It was very nice to meet him earlier today. He's a throws coach for the state track meet, for the track team. And so really excited. Sioux Valley out here early warming up. And so they had a rough game yesterday, but should be well positioned today. So this should be a good one. Vermillion played really well yesterday, and exciting to see what they can do today, as Vermillion will be in their all red uniforms with black numbers and white trim, and white letters with black trim on the back. So Sioux Valley, they'll be in their deep blue, navy blue pants with gray jerseys and those navy blue sleeves with gold trim. The numbers are blue with that deep navy blue with gold trim as well. So they'll be announcing starting lineups here shortly, and so we'll bring that to you. So we'll take a quick timeout as they are exchanging starting lineups at home plate. So we want to thank all of our sponsors. This is Tanagers Softball, brought to you by all season by First Dakota National Bank, but the special state softball coverage is also being brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. And I don't know, did they just announce that we're doing the national anthem? I did not hear. I'll pause if they did. Did you guys hear? Are they saying the national anthem? Oh, okay. I just saw some people standing, and I was like, I wasn't quite sure. All right, so we're gonna take a quick time out, and then we'll come back for the lineups and national anthem. This is Tanagers Softball, and I'm Michael Schumacher. We'll be back shortly. Thank you for tuning in on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
Are you ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women, names like Ariat and Carhartt for men, boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank all season long. And today, well, not today, this special state softball coverage is also brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. For all of your Maytag needs, contact Murph. All right. So what I'm looking at here is teams lining up. We will go over the starting lineups. First, for Sioux Valley, they're being leading off and playing first base, number 12, Cassidy Smith. Batting second, and the designated player, number 26, Morgan Lemmy. Batting third and playing center field, number 6, McKinley Schwab. Batting cleanup and catching, number 13, Amelia Jacobson. Batting fifth, and we are going to pause for the national anthem. I knew they'd do the national anthem at some point, so here we go. It's being sung by the Mobridge Pollock Softball Ensemble.
With your right hand over your heart. Veterans in active duty military, not in uniforms, may salute the flag.
Hopefully you could hear that. It's done at a different field, but that was the Mobridge Pollock Softball Ensemble. They did a beautiful job of the national anthem. We will always pause for that, and then I will always remember my close family and friends that have served, including my daughter, Leela, who serves in the National Guard at in North Carolina. My dad, Gary Schumacher, who served in the Vietnam era, and my Uncle Leroy, who served in the Korean War era, and then my Uncle Leroy, or Uncle George, and Uncle Dick, who served during Korean War era. Leading off for Vermillion, it'll be Dylan Wagner, followed by Kristen Moser, Madigan Wallen, Maya Halverson will be pitching.
Number 5, Maya Halverson.
Batting fifth and playing left field is Quinn Christensen.
Batting sixth and playing second base, number 18,
Malia Johnson. She's moved up in the order as of recently, and she'll be playing second base.
Number 29, Madeline
Then followed by designated player Madeline Eisenbeiss. Number 4, Izzy Richardson will be playing center field, doing a great job out there over the last few weeks. Jenna Peterson playing first.
Batting 10th, right fielder, number 3, Reagan Lee. The head coach for the Vermillion Tanagers, Louis Budmeyer.
And Louis Budmeyer is the head coach. Tara Oren and Kayla Olson are the assistant coaches. Now the starting lineup for
Sioux Valley Cossacks.
the Cossacks of Sioux Valley. They are the home team, the 5th seed. So leading off, playing first base, Cassidy Smith.
Batting second and the designated player, number 26, Morgan Lemmy.
Batting second and playing
Batting third and center
designated player Morgan Lemmy. Batting third and playing center field, number 6, McKinley Schwab. Batting cleanup and catching, number 13, Amelia Jacobson. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 20, J.C. Olson. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 1, Savannah Guthmiller. And she's going to be playing for the Jamestown Jimmies next season. I was talking to her dad. So Savannah Guthmiller will play for us to watch today. Abby Axtell is batting 8th. And batting 9th will be left fielder Ella Jacobson. Playing second will be Cameron Euchre.
The head coach for the Cossacks is Tatum Sonnenberg. Assistant coaches
And Tatum Sonnenberg is the head coach for the Sioux Valley Cossacks. So we're going to be playing some softball here. Excited to do that.
Your officials for this morning's game, Ron Schmidt, Jesse Strickers, and Nathan Beeler.
All right, so we are getting ready for some action. I'm going to finish my lineup card here. When we come back, we will be bringing you some Tanager softball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and Murph's Appliance. So glad you are with me. Love bringing this to you. We'll be back shortly here on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager softball. There comes the throw down to second. You'll see it here shortly. And this is Vermillion Tanager softball brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. We want to thank everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate it as we are covering so many games and just excited for that.
Number 12, Dylan Wagner.
And leading off for Vermillion, it is Dylan Wagner. First pitch swung on and missed. Strike one. Dylan Wagner, part of that youth movement here in Tanager softball. That ball's grounded over to second. Kind of bobbled and, ooh, they just got her. Maybe half a step. That bobble about cost them. Wagner has some nice speed down the line, but they were able to recover in time for the first out of the inning. So one up, one down here in the top of the first for the Tanagers. That ball ground down the third baseline, fielded cleanly by off the bat of Moser, and that is a quick second out. Just 3 pitches in, and we have 2 down. Man, if you are Sioux Valley, boy, could not be a better start than that for you. But that brings up Madigan Wallen. So there has been good contact made. We'll see if Madigan can get a hold of one here. First pitch is swung on and missed. So strike one, 0-1. Madigan started the season at short and has moved to catcher, and seems like that has been a real difference for this team. She, again, will be playing softball next season for Mount Marty, as that second pitch was a ball, 1-1. She was also the winner of our Vermillion Sportscasters 5-Star Communications Scholarship. That pitch grounded quickly over to short to Savannah Guthmiller. Over to first for a quick 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. On the Masaba scoreboard, the score is tied at 0-0. We'll be back with the bottom half of the first and the Sioux Valley half of the first after this. This is Vermillion Tanager softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank all season long, and our special state softball coverage brought to you by Murph's Appliance.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the Lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the Lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion. Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals are your locally owned and operated ready mix and rental companies available in both Yankton and Vermillion. The Oshkosh front discharge mixers allow for easy placement of concrete and they're nearly unstoppable. More of a do-it-yourself fan? You can also get all your hand tools, mini excavators, skid steers, aerial lift equipment, and more for any job you need to get done. Choose Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals as your concrete and rental equipment headquarters of Yankton and Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, Day 2 of the state softball tournament. Vermillion taking on Sioux Valley, the 5th-seeded Cossacks and the 8th-seeded Tanagers. Vermillion coming off that really good game against West Central yesterday. Maya Halverson will be in the circle, Madigan Wallen at catcher, Jenna Peterson, Malia Johnson, Dylan Wagner, and Kristen Moser around the infield, and then Quinn Christensen, Izzy Richardson, and Reagan Lee in the outfield. First pitch to Cassidy Smith, in for a strike, as Halverson, the last half of this season, has really been dealing. And you could see that yesterday. 4 runs given up to West Central. A lot of that, Maya, a lot of that, the defense, that was the second lowest output of the season for West Central. That bunt attempt goes foul, 0-2. So Vermillion really playing their best softball of the season. And I'll be honest, if they had any different opening day draw than West Central, I think we see them in the winner's bracket today, the way they played yesterday. But here's the 0-2 pitch. That is in for a called strike 3. And Maya Halverson has really been dealing strikeouts, double digits in so many different games over the last half of this season. Against Madison, actually her first, I think, 8 were strikeouts, and so her first 8 outs were strikeouts. So we'll see if she can keep it up against designated player Morgan Lemmy. Now that first pitch, low and inside, is ball 1, 1-0. So happy to be up here. Also, if you're interested in more softball coverage, we are covering Elk Point Jefferson, Alcester Hudson, and that ball's going down the third base line, fielded by Moser, over to first. Just in time. Lemmy got down the line in a hurry, but Moser's throw was in time. So a 5-3 put out for the second out of the game. That will bring up McKinley Schwab, the center fielder. Bats right-handed, sorry. Left side of the plate here. That's hit deep, but that will curve foul, and that will be a long, long strike. But yes, we are covering Elk Point Jefferson in Class A, Alcester Hudson, and Avon Bonholm and Gayville Vollen in Class B. Right now, Zach Spear is over on Field A, bringing you some Avon Pirates softball. You know what? I've got the value of technology. I'll see if I can keep giving you updates in case you just want to keep it here, which I would really appreciate because I love having you here. But right now, in the top of the first, it's 0-0 for Avon and Florence Henry. All right, so here's the 0-1 pitch to McKinley Schwab. That is outside, 0-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that ball 2 evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom half of the first. Maya Halverson trying to equal the top of the inning with a 1-2-3, and she does with her second strikeout. So 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors in the bottom of the first for Sioux Valley. 0-0 on the Masaba scoreboard. We'll be back with more after this timeout, brought to you by Murph's Appliance. Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. All right, this is also Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank with our special state softball coverage brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. All right, it's Maya Halverson, Quinn Christensen, and Leah Johnson heading up to the plate this inning for Vermillion. Of course, they're facing off with pitcher Abby Axtell. That first pitch gets through for a hit. Maya Halverson helping her cause by getting on first. That's the first hit of the game for either team. And we were saying, some of us were talking that Vermillion made good contact in that first inning. It's just a matter of getting it through. So it's not finding a mitt. And so here it's Chloe Bottleson is going to run as a courtesy runner for the pitcher. So she'll be running for Maya Halverson. So again, 19 running for 5.
Tanagers, number 19, Chloe Bottleson.
That ball is outside. She did a show bunt, but did not bunt, so quickly 1-0. That pitch is also outside, 2-0. That ball bunted right in front of home plate. This could be tough. Throw down to first just in time to get her. But here's a throw over to third, and she is safe at third. Aggressive base running by Chloe Bottleson. And so the runner does advance on the sacrifice. But boy, Christensen, perfect bunt to get her into position. That is now one down here in the top half of the second. Now with a runner at third. Wow, Bottleson was just running full force. That'll bring up Malia Johnson, who has really had some power as of late, some doubles and triples in her repertoire. And so, see if she can get a hit to the outfield. That ball's hit into the outfield. Will it fall? Yes! It'll make it to the fence. That'll be a run-scoring double. She's going to go for 3. There'll be a play at third, and that is a stand-up triple for Malia Johnson. Wow, Vermillion, this could not start better for them. They're now quickly out to a 1-0 lead on 2 hits. Some great base running, some beautiful bunting. This is exactly what you want to see if you are Coach Budmeyer or a Tanager fan. That ball is hit into left field, and it's caught out there, and Malia got caught running a little bit. Coach Budmeyer just giving her instructions, just an 8th grader, but probably could have tagged up on that.
Number 4, Izzy Richardson.
But unfortunately, she got caught off. She had to then run back. So it's a coaching moment. It's a coaching moment. That ball is hit into shallow center field, and that's going to drop for a run-scoring single. That is a single for Izzy Richardson, who, since she's been starting to bat for herself, has really been doing well, in addition to playing some great center field. So it's now 2-0 in favor of Vermillion, with a runner at first. And that brings up Jenna Peterson. That ball's laced into left field. And that'll be a single. That'll advance Richardson to second. Jenna Peterson with a single now at first. I was talking to Coach Gus Miller earlier from Sioux Valley, and I said she's a perfect example of somebody that needs a little luck, or at least not bad luck, because she makes solid contact. It's just the batted ball was finding mitts. So now runners at first and second, but 2 down as Dylan Wagner comes back up. That ball is high, 1-0. Wagner, a left-handed batter. That ball swung on and missed. 1-1. That ball is high. 2-1. That ball's lifted foul. Count is 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on here in the top of the second. That ball is hit foul, just out of play. So we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Dylan Wagner up to bat. That ball's lifted high and foul yet again. So Vermillion out to a 2-0 lead here in the top of the second. Playing well. 2-2 pitch. That is popped up. Shortstop Gus Miller comes over, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But in the inning, 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. At the end of an inning and a half, it is Vermillion 2, Sioux Valley coming up on the Masaba scoreboard. We'll be back with more. This is Vermillion Tanager softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, and our special state softball coverage brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Welcome back to Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, and our special state softball coverage brought to you by Murph's on Main Street in Vermillion. For all of your Maytag needs, meet with Murph. All right, batting this inning for Sioux Valley will be Amelia Jacobson, J.C. Olson, and Savannah Guthmiller. So Jacobson is the catcher on this team. Here's the first pitch from Halverson. That's fouled off. 0-1. So again, now Maya pitching with the lead for the first time today. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2. That pitch is high, 1-2. One-two pitch. That's in for called strike 3. So that is the third strikeout of the game for Maya Halverson. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the second. That brings up number 20, right fielder J.C. Olson. On deck is shortstop Savannah Guthmiller. Swing and a miss for strike 1. We have the Madison softball team sitting in the stands with us here as they await their game against Elk Point Jefferson, which will be on 5-star streaming. Thought I'd give you guys a shout out. That's in for strike 2. 0-2. And that was one of their coaches that just walked in front of the camera. 0-2. One down. J.C. Olson at bat. Here's the pitch from Halverson. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Now that's Maya's first swinging strikeout. The other 3 have been been caught looking. So that is now 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Savannah Guthmiller. Again, Guthmiller will be playing softball at the University of Jamestown for the Jimmies next year.
Now batting number 1, Savannah Guthmiller.
That pitch is lifted high, but that is shallow center field. Richardson got a late jump on it, and she comes in and makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down here in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base after 2. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 2-0. We'll be back with the third inning after these messages. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you gotta call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Fuller Digital Solutions started small, but now we're growing as FDS provides live streaming coverage for over 20 schools across 3 different states on our Fuller Digital Solutions YouTube channel. Subscribe to get notified when we go live for your school events. Big events are captured live, and your business can get noticed with advertising during our live streams. Local talent and camera operators are encouraged to contact us too for future employment. No experience necessary. We will train. For information about advertising or working with Fuller Digital Solutions, email us and follow us on Facebook.
Welcome back to Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. As we head into the top of the third, there has been a pitching change. McKinley Schwab, who was in center field, will now be pitching. I have not heard if Abby Axtell is the one who moved out to center field. Does appear that everything else is the same. No? So, Audrey Morano. There have been some fielding changes. I'll see if I can get those for you. That first pitch is outside. 1-0. So Kristen Moser leading off for Vermillion, facing McKinley Schwab. That pitch is fouled off. 1-1. So it'll be Moser, Wallen, and Halverson to lead off this inning. Ball grounded down to third, fielded cleanly over there, over to first for the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Tanagers, number 9, Madigan Wallen.
So that brings up Madigan Wallen. Wallen grounded out to short to close out the first inning. That one's lifted into left center field. That will drop for a hit, and that will reach the fence. Wallen rounds first, and she'll be in with a stand-up double for her first hit of the game. Again, she'll be playing at Mount Marty next season. And that is the fifth hit of the game for the Tanagers. And that'll bring up Maya Halverson, who got the second inning off with a single. On deck, Quinn Christensen. First pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1, 0-1. That ball's in the dirt. 1-1. Wallen got a good jump off of second, but did not take off. Pitch high and outside, 2-1. That ball's fouled off, evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 out here in the top half of the third. Vermillion leads 2-0 on the Masaba scoreboard. That pitch is lifted into deep left field, and that is going to hit the fence. Wallen rounds third. She'll come home to score on the double by Maya Halverson. Back-to-back doubles for the 2 seniors. So that brings the score to 3-0 on the 6th hit of the game for the Tanagers. So that'll bring up Quinn Christensen. Running for Maya Halverson will be Chloe Bottleson. And again, so Abby Axtell is now at third. At short is still Savannah Guthmiller. Audrey Morano has moved to second. And second baseman Cameron Euchre has moved to first. Cassidy Smith has now moved into left field. Ella Jacobson has moved into center. And in right field is still J.C. Olson. That pitch to Wagner is hit into center field, and Bottleson makes it over to third. So three consecutive hits, now has runners at first and third, and a 3-0 lead for the Tanagers. That is hit number 7 for the Tanagers. And that will bring up Malia Johnson, the second baseman, who tripled her last time up. On deck, designated hitter, Madeline Eisenbeis. Pitch is fouled off, 0-1. There's a throw down to second as Christensen made it down. You could maybe heard Coach Budmeyer. He just wanted Malia to take that so they could get the runner to second. That first pitch. So now it's 1-1. All right, I think they called that a ball. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 down here in the top half of the third. Vermillion leading 3-0, but hoping to put up a crooked number and really break this open. Grounded. Oh, and that's going to be runner interference. Quinn Christensen ran into the shortstop. She had to have a chance to field it, and I think that means... So they will take out Christensen. A run does score, and Johnson will be at first. So now 4-0 in favor of Vermillion. And that is strike 1, 0-1 with now 2 down as Madeline Eisenbeis is at bat. It's now 1-1. That pitch is lifted high, foul, and that will be out of play. 1-2. So despite the fast start, Sioux Valley is hoping to keep Vermillion to just 2 runs coming across. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Madeline Eisenbeis. That is lifted into center field, and that will fall. And Malia Johnson will stay at second, so now runners at first and second. So now runners at first and second. Brings up Izzy Richardson, who singled back in the second, well, last inning. On deck, Jenna Peterson. Richardson, a freshman on this Vermillion team, part of the youth that are coming up. That first pitch is high, 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike two. In the bottom of the second, Avon and Florence Henry are still knotted at 0. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. That is outside, 2-2. That's ball 3. Full count now for Izzy Richardson. Just a reminder, we will have the Elk Point Jefferson Madison game for you on 5-star streaming if I can get torn down and set up in time. Foul tipped into the mitt, and that will be strike 3. So in the inning, 2 runs on 5 hits, 2 no errors, 2 left on base. At the end of 2.5, it's Vermillion 4 and Madison nothing. We'll bring bat for the bottom half of the 3rd inning. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, and our special state coverage brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher, as we are at the Players Softball Complex in Aberdeen as we head into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Again, our sponsors, First Dakota National Bank, and our special state softball coverage brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Here's the first pitch from Maya Halverson to Audrey Morano. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Audrey Morano.
That is low, ball 1, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff batter. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Morano. Fouled off, out of play. Count remains 1-2. Now, through the first 2 innings of pitching, Maya Halverson has 4 strikeouts, 3 caught looking, 1 swinging. That has been in line with what she's been doing as of late, so she would love to continue that. She'd love to get that here with the 1-2 count. That's laced down left field line, but that is foul. Now, they've had a couple down the left field line where they've just been a little bit early, but man, got a lot of contact. So you just wonder if that's something that they're reading and maybe just able to adjust to. That could be could pose some problems. So I know Maya Halverson's going to USD, but man, I think she's somebody that could play, especially maybe at that the NAIA level, like a GPAC school, Mount Marty, Dort, Doane, Dakota Wesleyan. I mean, if she has her heart set on USD, that's awesome, but I think she'd be a good pitcher for somebody. So here is the delivery. That is just high, 2-2. And I'm probably biased. You know, I really am. I get to see these girls all the time. So maybe I'm biased, but I think she's pretty good. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Coming up. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. So it'll be Morano, Axtell, and Jacobson. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That is the first out of the inning. 1 up, 1 down. So that'll bring up Abby Axtell, who is now the 3rd baseman, original starting pitcher. On deck, center fielder Ella Jacobson. First pitch, ball 1, 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1. So here's the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, just outside. It'll be 2-1. That is high. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. That's now a full count. 3-2 on Abby Axtell. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That is her 6th strikeout of the game through 3 innings. Well, technically through 2 2/3 innings. Brings up center fielder Ella Jacobson. On deck, the top of the order, and left fielder Cassidy Smith. Pitch is lifted high and foul. 0-1.
Number 14, Ella Jacobson.
That is ball 1. 1-1. That pitch is hit down the third baseline, fielded beautifully by Kristen Moser for a beautiful putout. Wow, that's kind of what you need to have these special types of games. Defense like that. Maya's pitching well, but defense like that behind her will just add to it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base at the end of 3. It is Vermillion 4 and Vermillion 4, Sioux Valley nothing. We'll be back with the 5th inning we'll be back with the 4th inning after these messages. Crying out loud. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by
Candice Couture is your complete women's
by First Dakota National Bank and Murph's Appliance.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
Welcome back to Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and our special state softball coverage. Brought to you by Murph's Appliance. Leading off the 4th inning for Vermillion will be Jenna Peterson. Peterson singled her last time up. And she singled her last time up. It's now 1-1 as she fouls that off. That is high, 2-1.
Go, 6. Let's go,
That ball's grounded right back up the middle. And that will just nip Jenna Peterson for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order, and Dylan Wagner, who is 0 for 2, and Kristen Moser is on deck.
Now batting number 12, Dylan Wagner.
That ball bunted right in front of the plate. Oh, foul ball. Dead ball, 0-1. That ball bunted foul, 0-2. That ball's fouled off. Count remains 0-2. That is a swing and a miss for strike 3. So quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the top half of the 4th inning.
Now batting number 2, Christian Moser.
Brings up Kristen Moser. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Outside, 2-0. That is high, 3-0. Oh, ball 4. You don't see it called that easily that often. So all of a sudden, Kristen Moser now aboard with a walk. That pitch is lifted into the outfield. That will be caught out in center field for the 3rd out of the inning. But in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 3.5, it is Vermillion 4. Vermillion 4, Sioux Valley nothing. On the Masaba scoreboard, we'll be back with more after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and our special state softball coverage by Murphs.
Slumberland Furniture in Yankton, the place to shop for your next new mattress. Find brands like Stearns & Foster, Nectar, and the hottest selling mattress, Purple, measured for your comfort and a dream-laden night's sleep. There's the new Adapt by Tempur-Pedic as well. Slumberland Furniture has Flex Steel furniture too, comfy and classy. That's Slumberland Furniture, 2401 Broadway, Yankton.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. I'm Michael Schumacher from the Players Softball Complex in Aberdeen, where the Vermillion Tanagers lead 4-0 after 3.5 innings as we head into the bottom of the 4th. Maya Halverson will face Cassidy Smith, Morgan Lemmy, and McKinley Schwab this inning. Cassidy Smith struck out looking back in the first. First pitch fouled off, 0-1. That's a called strike 2, 0-2. That ball grounded down over to Wagner at short. Here's a throw to first, just in time to get her. Nice play by Wagner. Cassidy Smith was moving down the first base line. So that is the first out of the inning. 1 up, 1 down. Brings up number 26, the designated player, Morgan Lemmy. First pitch to Lemmy is low, 1-0. So this is Vermillion's first appearance in the state softball tournament. Sioux Valley just in their second year of softball. I know it's only been organized for 3 years, but swings and misses at one in the dirt. You know, she started swinging and just couldn't stop. She saw that coming low like that. Just one of those frustrating things where once you start, you couldn't keep from going through, but she knew. And so here's a 1-ball-1-strike pitch from Maya. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1-2. Again, on deck is now pitcher McKinley Schwab. Start off in center field. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is the second out of the inning. That is Halverson's 7th strikeout of the game. That'll bring up again McKinley Schwab. She struck out looking back in the first. On deck is catcher Amelia Jacobson. Ball 1, 1-0. That's laced out into deep left field. And that is fair. It's a single. That's going to be a double. Ground ball double there. And we had talked about that left field hitting to left. They might be able to get a hold of one. So catcher Amelia Jacobson needs to take off the shin guards. And that is a double. That is the first hit for Sioux Valley. We'll see if that starts something for him as Jacobson comes up. She struck out looking in her first at-bat. So now with a runner at second, first base runner of the game for Sioux Valley. Brings up catcher Amelia Jacobson. On deck is right fielder J.C. Olson. That is high, 1-0. So Maya Halverson looks in, winds, and delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1. That ball is high, 2-1. So again, Vermillion staked themselves to a 4-run lead with two two-run innings in innings 2 and 3. Just low, 3-1. Halverson kicks a little dirt here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Winds and delivers. Just a little high, ball 4. Now runners at first and second. So Sioux Valley hoping to get something going here. That brings up right fielder J.C. Olson, who struck out swinging in the second. On deck is shortstop Savannah Guthmiller. She offers it the pitch, and that is strike 1. She showed bunt, offered, and that is strike 1. Ball got away from Madigan just a little bit, but not far enough for anybody to advance. Madigan, one of those athletic catchers that's able to adjust quickly. So here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 0-2. So Sioux Valley now with 2 down in this inning has a chance to get something going, but 2 outs. Runner at second off a double by McKinley Schwab, then a walk to Amelia Jacobson. Leads to this opportunity for J.C. Olson. Down 0-2. Swing and a miss for a huge strikeout from Maya Halverson to get that 3rd out. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Maya Halverson now has 8 strikeouts through 4. It's Vermillion 4. Sioux Valley, nothing. We'll be back with the 5th inning after these messages. This is Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, with special state softball coverage brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street.
Todd's Electric, your full-service electrical contracting company. Todd's Electric services residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial customers. From the simplest service call to the most complex design-build project, Todd's Electric has the expertise to do it right. Call Todd's Electric for all your electrical needs. Todd's Electric, helping you control all things electric. Except for lightning. Todd's Electric. Go Tanagers! This season, Grassland Heating and Cooling is stepping up to the plate. As a proud sponsor of Vermillion, congratulations to the Tanager athletes competing in the state tournament. Grassland Heating and Cooling are your local comfort experts. And with their Grassland Family Plan, you can rest easy knowing your home or business will be comfortable all year long. From repairs to new installations, let their pros knock it out of the park. Call Grassland Heating and Cooling today, and as always, welcome to the family.
Welcome back to Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank and Murph's Appliance. The first pitch to Maya Halverson is a ball, 1-0. We want to thank our sponsors, including Grassland Heating and Cooling, Pied Piper, Ace Hardware in Vermillion. That pitch is lifted high into right field. It's floating back, and making the catch for Sioux Valley is right fielder J.C. Olson. Brings up left fielder Quinn Christensen. On deck, second baseman Malia Johnson. That pitch is in for a strike. That ball's chopped over to short, fielded by Gus Miller. Oh, that throw is just a little away from the first baseman. And now Quinn Christensen makes it to second despite this delay. Wow, I thought that was going to be a huge mistake. But Christensen makes it to second. Unfortunately, probably have to call that a throwing error. So now with 1 down and a runner on second, that will bring up second baseman Malia Johnson with Madeline Eisenbeis on deck. That ball's hit into left field. That'll be a single. And Christensen comes home. There'll be a play at the plate. No, not in time. And Johnson on the throw advances to second. So a single for Johnson, advances to second on the throw. And that makes the score 5-0 with now a runner at second. And 1 down here in the top half of the 5th. Madeline Eisenbeis, the designated player, coming up. She is 1 for 2 with a single in the 3rd. That pitch is going to be nubbed just over the glove of the second baseman. And they're going to hold Malia Johnson at third. And so now runners at first and third with 1 down. So Eisenbeis with her second hit of the game. Brings up Izzy Richardson, who is 1 for 2 with a single in the second and popped out to third. And they'll have a runner for for Eisenbeis. And the runner for Madeline Eisenbeis will be number 15. Oops. Have that here. will be number 15, Allie Peterson. So Allie Peterson running for Madeline Eisenbeiss as Izzy Richardson comes up. Oh, so they're calling it a substitution. So I don't know if it's a courtesy run or a substitution, but it's Allie Johnson either way at first base. So Johnson at first, Anderson. Yeah, Johnson. Bleh. Peterson at first, Johnson at second. Now Peterson's at second. Sorry. Peterson's at second, Johnson at third. Richardson at home. That pitch is lifted high into right field. That will be caught. Malia Johnson tags, and she will score on the sacrifice by Richardson. So that will make the score 6-0 in favor of Vermillion. Brings up number 20, Jenna Peterson. So we had Johnson, Peterson, Richardson, Peterson. We got a lot of Ursons or Unsons. You know how it goes. Here's the first pitch to Jenna. That is high, 1-0. On deck is the top of the order and Dylan Wagner. That's also high, 2-0. 2-0 pitch. That is ball 3 with a runner at second. That is a high. That is ball 4.
Now batting, shortstop, number 12, Dylan Wagner.
Come on, Dylan. One's up there for you.
That is fouled off as Dylan Wagner steps up. She is 0 for 3. So runners at first and second with 1 down. Just 2 down, sorry. And so that's fouled off, 0-2. So Wagner, left-handed batter, one of the few left-handed batters, if not the only, for Vermillion. That's chopped up the middle. That might score a run. And yes, Allie Peterson will come around to score, running for Madeline Eisenbeiss. Jenna Peterson to second, and that is a single, the first hit today for Dylan Wagner. And the 10th hit of the game for Vermillion. Score is now 7-0 in favor of the Tanagers. So they might be putting in a runner for Jenna Peterson. And they will. The runner for Jenna Peterson will be number 16, Emma Reddick. So Emma Reddick at second. Dylan Wagner at first. Some decent speed out there on the base paths. A hit to the outfield. They'd love to have it score too if they could. That is inside, 1-0 to Kristen Moser. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 out, 2 on. That is low. Ball 2, 2-1. That ball laced between first and second. And Reddick comes around. There will be a play at home, and nope, she will score. As Reddick scores, running for Peterson, Wagner's at third. And Moser is at second.
Now up to bat, number 9, Madigan Wallen.
So runners at second and third. Madigan Wallen at bat. Boy, she'd love to get a hold of one here. She's the 9th batter to come up. She doubled back in the third. She's 1 for 3 today. And that is low inside, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Pitch to Wallen, chopped foul, 1-1. Pitch is lifted high, foul and out of play, 1-2.
Kill it, just meet it. You can do it, Madigan. Just base hit.
That's laced into left field. That'll score 2. As here comes Wagner coming home. And she'll be in on the double by Madigan Wallen.
That's a hit for number 9, Madigan Wallen, scoring 2.
So that does make the score 10-0 now with a runner at second and 2 down. Brings up Halverson. Maya Halverson led off this inning with the double. No, led off this inning flying out to right.
Piper O'Connor, number 10.
So Piper O'Connor is running for Madigan Wallen. That pitch is lifted high and almost hit a bird, but that is just a long strike, and a bird saw his life flash before his or her eyes. 0-1. It's inside, 1-1. So now this does mean that Sioux Valley needs to score in the bottom half of this inning to continue the game. Pitch is outside, 2-1. Oh, 2-2. 2-1. Pitch is inside, ball 3, 3-1. A walk here or a hit here would bring up Quinn Christensen. That's chopped foul. 3-2. And if you're looking for an update in the Avon game, let's see if I can give one to you. As Florence Henry leads in the top of the 5th, 3-1 over Avon. That is ball 4. Maya Halverson is aboard, now at first base. So runners at first and second.
Now batting number 7, Quinn Christensen.
So that brings up Quinn Christensen. Quinn is 1 for 2 with a single and reached on an error. That ball is hit into, popped up, over by second base, and that is caught for the final out of the inning. But in the inning, Vermillion does score. 6 runs.
10, Sioux Valley Cossacks, 0.
6 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. 2 runners left on base. At the end of 4.5, it's Vermillion 10, Sioux Valley nothing. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 5th after these messages from our sponsors. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by Murph's Appliance and First Dakota.
Ace Appliance is the place to find Amana, Genair, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool. With these name brands, you're sure to find the appliance you need. Stop on in to Vermillion Ace Hardware, 812 Cottage Avenue. Ask a sales associate to help you learn more about the appliances. Ace Appliance is the place to find Amana, Genair, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool appliances. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Pick or place your property with Janelle Pearson of Next Home Tri-State Realty. With licenses in Iowa and South Dakota, Janelle Pearson is the perfect choice to buy or sell your home. Rest assured, as you see the knowledge, hard work, passion, and care that goes into taking care of you. Give Janelle Pearson of Next Home Tri-State Realty a call today at 712-552-7102 to take care of all your home needs. Janelle Pearson is a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Softball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank, and our softball coverage brought to you by Murph's Appliance. Here's the first pitch to Savannah Guthmiller. That's a foul ball. 0-1. That was a nice hit. She got good contact, just slightly foul from third. So Maya Halverson pitching beautifully today. Is ahead 0-1. Want to thank our sponsors, including Grassland Heating and Cooling, Ace Hardware of Vermillion and Elk Point, Next Home Realty, Janelle Pearson, and Pied Piper Flowers and Gifts. Want to thank them along with Kalen's, Larry's Heating and Cooling, and Dave's Roofing. That pitch is popped up. Will that stay in play? They're going to make an attempt for it, and Moser is just unable to contain it. So close to the fence. So close to the fence. You're so worried about running into that, but it is now 0-2. Again, Guthmiller will be followed by Morano and Axtell. Also want to thank our other sponsors, including Buchelman and Associates, Voyage Credit Union, and that ball hit. Jenna Peterson stayed close to first. It was hard to tell who would be responsible for that. Maybe another coachable moment, not quite sure, but that is another base hit for Sioux Valley, puts a runner at first. So brings up second baseman Audrey Morano. On deck is third baseman Abby Axtell. Also a big thank you to Masaba and Intech Cleaning Services, Vermillion Auto Works, Murph's Appliance, of course, JR's Oasis, Pump and Pack, Vision Care Associates, and Vermillion Medical Clinic, along with Todd's Electric and so many more. Just trying to get them some love here. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike one, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Now here at the softball tournament, they're much more efficient between innings. We usually have a minute to a minute and a half. We've been getting 30 seconds, so it's limited the number of ads we can play. So I'm trying to make sure we're getting them all in, and I apologize if we're not able to. That's why I make sure to give these people love, you know. We really appreciate everything that they do for us. So Maya Halverson has had 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss for strike. For strike 1.
Now batting number 27, Abby Axtell.
So Abby Axtell now up. Fouls that out of play, 0-2. Again, more sponsors to thank is our Slumberland, Candy's Couture, Clay County Abstract, again, Kalen's, First Dakota National Bank, Yankton Thrive, Midwest Ready Mix, The Lumber Yard, Blaine's Body Shop, and that is strike 3, along with Runnings, Thermobond, Johnson Feed, Dairy Queen in Vermillion, and Pizza Ranch. Want to make sure we thank them all. So that is strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. So with the runner still at first, so count is 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1. So Maya Halverson is now up to 10 strikeouts on the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sioux Valley needs a run to keep the game going. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. 1-2. So Sioux Valley down to their final strike. That ball is lifted into right field. That will be a single. Reagan Lee picks that up. You'll have runners at first and third now. So runners now at first and third as Jacobson gets a single, the third hit of the game for Sioux Valley. That'll bring up left fielder Cassidy Smith. Cassidy Smith is a left-handed batter. Again, we also want to thank Fast Auto Glass. You see them as the RSS scrolling sponsor. They're usually our halftime sponsors, but obviously in softball there is no halftime sponsor. Swing and a miss, strike one. So we tossed them up there. Want to give them some verbal love too. So 0-1. No balls, one strike. Swing and a miss, strike two. 0-2. So no balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just outside. 1-2. All right, one ball, two strikes. Runners on second and third. Swing and a miss for strike three, and Vermillion has won their first ever game at the state softball tournament. And how fitting is it for Maya Halverson for it to be on a strikeout? That is her 11th strikeout of the game, and that will do it for the Tanagers as they defeat the Cossacks by a score of 10-0. Now, I will be running over to the Elk Point Jefferson game. I will be setting up to do that game. And so hopefully they have a little bit of time yet here, I'm hoping. But we shall see to get set up and do that. I want to thank all of our sponsors. This is Tanager Softball, brought to you by Murph's Appliance as our special state softball coverage, and First Dakota National Bank. So hopefully we can get over to the EPJ game. That's why I'm going to have an abbreviated post game. But again, thank you to all of our sponsors, including Pied Piper.
This Father's Day, resist the urge to buy Dad another necktie he'll never wear. At Pied Piper Vermillion, we've got gifts that actually earn a smile. Madman gear? Check. Pickleball swag? You bet. Grill Master? You got it. Beer steins, funny socks, sarcastic coasters? Oh yeah. Plus Dark Canyon coffee and mugs he'll actually want to use. And yes, even flowers and plants for his softer side. This year, give Dad something legendary from Pied Piper Vermillion on the corner of Cherry and Cottage. And yes, we deliver.
All right, so thank you to all of our sponsors. Vermillion had 10 runs in the game on 11 hits. They had no errors. And Sioux Valley had no runs on 3 hits. They did have 1 error. Maya Halverson, like I said, had 11 strikeouts to lead the way. Hitting-wise, you had doubles for Madigan Wallen, 2 of those. Maya Halverson had a single and a double and a walk. Quinn Christensen had a single, a triple, and 2 singles for Malia Johnson. Madeline Eisenbeis with 2 singles, a single for Izzy Richardson, a single and a walk for Jenna Peterson, and a single for Dylan Wagner. Kirsten Moser with a walk and a double. All right. Well, I do apologize. I need to break this so I can go over to the other field now and get set up for Elk Point Jefferson. Love you all. We will be broadcasting tomorrow. They will be in the second game, so they'll be playing at noon tomorrow here on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. Vermillion Tanagers win their first ever victory at the state softball tournament. I'm Michael Schumacher, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow on Vermillion Tanagers YouTube.